My name is Joy Wisdom. I'm talking to you today to tell you a little bit about me and why it would be beneficial for you to train with Allonus. I have been a clinical practitioner since the 1990s, and I have a very big toolbox of experience. I'm author of 3 books. I am a teacher, a mentor since 2005, founder of the Allonus ZEST of Life program. Includes D.A.R.E practitioners, dissolve and resolve emotions, D.A.R.E practitioners, intuitive practitioners training, D.A.R.E therapy. Also setting up a Joy Wisdom Trust to help with education and especially around women and children's health. There are 2 arms to Allonus. The first one is, as I've mentioned, the D.A.R.E practitioners route. It is a rolling program from induction through to masterclass. It's specialist training, also open to anybody with no previous experience required. The other arm, the healing program, and that dovetails with the therapy training, and practitioners are also required to do the first part of the healing, the Power-of-3, that is helps to transmute negative energy. And so it helps to keep the practitioner safe and the environment that they work in safe for the client. The 2 arms of Allonus was to bring a new vision on health, a bigger picture on well-being, and bring generational change, championing new methods for well-being and mental and emotional health, because from my perspective, there is a lot wanting around those 2 subjects. And certainly it does affect each other. Emotions affect the mental state and vice versa. By dealing with the emotions, we can prevent, and Allonus has a lot of preventative aspects to it. We can help clients to enjoy that well-being, but also helping them to prevent further health issues, one-to-one sessions, or even with training, personal, individual, transformational training. The additional part to the Allonus LiGht Healing Program is soul and soul psychology. We also have a program called Lotus Path, personal development programs. People can come in and do what they want, when they want it. On the LiGht Healing Program, we do suggest a bit of time between the stages of development for you to integrate a much bigger way. My background, I'm a clinical practitioner since the 1990s. I trained with ITEC, AOR, Upledger trained, and some of the best, including reflexology, craniosacral therapy, specializing in pediatrics, somato-emotional release disorders, and women and children's health, and that was Upledger trained. Certainly, I have gone on and developed practices such as D.A.R.E to encompass a lot more than what I was trained, because I realized that there was a much bigger picture with working with clients. In my training, there were areas that I didn't get answers for. And so I did a quest of my own in 2000 and found lots and lots of hidden factors that we weren't taking on board. I also trained in stress management. I did basic counseling, diet and nutrition, and lymph drainage. And I was a one-stop shop for people to come to me because I had a big toolbox and I could help them with all sorts of different situations and scenarios that other people didn't have the experience to do. And this is what I pass on to my students in their training, that whoever walks through the door, we can help them in some way, shape or form. The clinical and emotional disorders that I worked with included treating women in pregnancy, post-traumatic stress disorder, postnatal depression, adverse trauma and birth intervention, especially for the children, as they were really affected by the birth process. And of course, it doesn't go away. They then live with shock and post-traumatic stress, underlying symptoms for the rest of their lives. And of course, there can be insomnia, fractious children, gut issues, and behavior. Children of all ages of ADHD, ADD, behavior issues. I have a lot of experience of working with children. We also involved mood irregularities, depression and stress. And this is where transference came on the radar for me in early millennia, treating infants that were holding anger, frustration from the type of birth, but also from utero of how the mother was, and of course the hormonal stimulus that was involved for the mother while pregnant. There were also symptoms in the adults that I found, because of course it doesn't go away from birth. It becomes that underlying level of finding these very different impacts for and unique for each individual. And this is where it can be quite complex, and we need to put our Sherlock hats on to find out what's going on. And this is where our intuitive and sixth sense methods help enormously. We find things that won't show up on an X-ray yet because they haven't got the technology. I wrote about the birth, my first book, Pregnancy and Birth, A New Generation, which is not just about birth. It's about mothers' health, children's health, allergies and asthma, but also going on for ADHD, ADD and behavior issues in children. The first-hand experiences of all ages with the fallouts from birth and utero that then create this underlying level to live. And of course, with our pandemic, we found that those that thought that they were very together have felt decline from what we've lived during coronavirus, have not coped very well, which to me means that they have underlying areas of depression, underlying areas of anxiety that we do find in people. And they say when we start probing and asking those questions, I've had it ever since I can remember. We get used to it. We don't realize there's a different way of living, and there is no need to continue with this. We can help you to stop this suffering with our pioneering methods of D.A.R.E. Books include Pregnancy and Birth, New Generation, as I've mentioned, also Mirror Image and Shell of ZoL. Shell of ZoL was the book that I wrote about my quest and the finds, and there's lots of case studies in there, brings it alive for people and how they can interact with giving them a bigger picture of what's going on. And they may resonate with some of those stories. It is one of the best books, the bestsellers. Mirror Image is about transference. It's about how we mirror and continue through the ages, and how this is holding us back in many ways. And some of these behaviors, etc., conditionings are still here from way back when. And obviously that is stopping us from living in the 21st century. I write articles, there are YouTube videos on many themes and interviews. There's regular blogs and articles on the website. You can find a lot of information there that you can check us out at our website, which is just behind me here, www.allonus.co.uk. We have a Facebook page, LinkedIn, Twitter page, so you can follow lots of things on that.